blonde curls flew out behind them, frizzy with the chill of the early December afternoon. Behind them was the gray frigidity of Manhattan, its yellow taxis blurry as they whipped through a jungle of cement. They were miles from the fresh air of their Nantucket home. "There you are," Estelle called. "Sam was flirting with a valet driver," Hillary said, telling on her older sister as though they were still 6 and 8. "I was not." "He did give us a deal, though." Sam rolled up alongside her mother and peered down at the book on the counter, smiling to herself. "Are these your daughters?" Shonda clutched the book with both hands. "Hillary and Samantha," Estelle beamed. "They're my partners for this frantic week of readings and signings. I'm not a city girl. Never have been." "Me neither," Sam said. "Hillary's here to get us through." "You're so lucky to have Estelle as your mother," Shonda said, reaching for yet another bottle of champagne from the counter behind her and setting it beside the one she'd already offered. It was as though she wanted to throw every conceivable gift Estelle's way. "I'm sure they don't always think that," Estelle joked, brushing a few flecks of snow from the sleeve of Hillary's powder blue peacoat. "She gave me one of her books," Shonda said, pressing it across the counter. "I hope you'll sign it?" "Our mother, the celebrity," Hillary quipped, as Estelle clicked the end of a pen and signed her name in a flourish on the first page. She also added the words, "To Shonda, my first fan in New York City." The publisher had booked them a suite, 1 bedroom each for the 3 of them, plus a kitchenette, a small balcony overlooking the streets that charged, vein-like, across Manhattan, and a luxurious sitting room. Here, Hillary popped a bottle of champagne and filled 3 flutes with the bubbly liquid. "We made it!" Hillary cried as she raised her glass. Estelle collapsed on a mustard couch and selected a glass from the table. "I can't thank you enough for coming with me." "Are you kidding? Where else would we be?" Sam dropped herself next to Estelle and threw her arm around her shoulder. Estelle had a funny memory of herself with her 2 girls, maybe 40 years ago, when they'd been very small, begging her to read Little House on the Prairie or The Secret Garden to them aloud before they went to bed. That was the thing about having children. You went through so many textures of time together. You remembered the good times and the bad times and the in-between times. That past year, Sam had rejuvenated her relationship with Hillary, Charlie, and her father, Roland, which only made Estelle, Hillary, and Sam's together cozier and more emotionally resonant. Sometimes Estelle thought the 3 of them could read each other's minds. This made her think of her own mother, Carrie, whom she'd lost so long ago. Estelle and Carrie had had a symbiosis, a closeness that often led them to finish one another's sentences or help one another with a task without needing to be asked. Carrie hadn't lived long enough to ever get to know Samantha and Hillary, which sometimes hurt so badly that it felt like a knife over Estelle's heart. "To your new book, Mom," Sam said, raising her glass. "Yes, to A Bright Christmas," Hillary affirmed, her long red hair falling like a curtain as she dropped forward to clink her glass with Sam's and Estelle's. Sam said this was the first time the publisher was treating Estelle the way she deserved, the first time they recognized just how successful she'd been. "They should have given you book launches and book tours for years," she insisted, although she didn't know anything about the literary world. Still, Sam was right about one thing. Estelle wasn't entirely good at recognizing her own abilities. Despite having decades of success in the world of writing, she still struggled to call herself a real writer. The fact that Shonda had gushed over her and the publisher had booked this enormous suite didn't quite fit with Estelle's estimation of herself. She told herself to be grateful for all of it and to write down everything that happened just in case this luck never came her way again. Throughout the next hour, Estelle, Hillary, and Samantha cozied up in the hotel suite, sipping champagne and dreaming aloud about the night ahead. The book launch was set for 7 with 200 attendees. Estelle planned to read Chapter 5 from A Bright Christmas, answer questions during a 30-minute Q&A, and spend a good 2 hours meeting fans and signing books. "When you first started writing, did you ever imagine your career would get this big?"